I was driving through Wyoming when my GPS stopped working. And I thought, what? No service? But then I remembered the first time I had driven through Wyoming, about 30, 35 years ago. I was new to the road and I was just starting to book shows and clubs, and I had booked a show in New York City. And believe me, coming from Stone Mountain, Georgia, that was a big deal. Only I had to make a phone call. And the signs on the highway said no food, no services, no phones, and they meant it. It wasn't very long ago at all that large swaths of this country didn't even have phone service. But these days, you can't find a payphone, but for very different reasons. Oh, the good old days that never were. The ones that we tattoo on our psyches or even our bodies to remind us of a particular place and time. I remember when I was a kid, there was a guy in my elementary school class who had a tattoo. I'm not kidding. It was of a skull with a jester's cap. And you got to understand here that I am not from this generation of rebels who have put tattoo parlors in shopping malls. This was unusual. And the skull with a jester's cap, that was new to me. The Grateful Dead was not a part of my childhood. The Jerry Garcia Transformer robot doll had not been marketed. But that image did disturb me. The skull with the jester's cap. But then I thought, what do you want your legacy to be? To go through this life making people laugh, and after you die, you're still doing it? The image grew in my mind. It became bejeweled and beribboned. To this day, whenever I see a tattoo, and these days tattoos are ubiquitous, and whenever I see one, they always pale in comparison to the memory of the one that I had seen as a child. And I was in my hometown recently, and I ran into the kid with the tattoo. And I got a chance to tell him how much it had meant to me that I had spent the past 35 years of my life traveling around the country trying to make people laugh. And I hope that after I die, I'll still be doing it. And I talked him into taking off his shirt and showing it to me. And I saw it in all its reality. It looked like a prison tattoo. Thin, pale blue lines hanging from aging flesh. He told me he had done it himself with a sewing needle and a ballpoint pen and was considering having it removed. And I thought, laughter dies, not from age, but from vanity. And in this case, laser surgery. Now, the reason that I was in my hometown is because I was visiting my mother, who was aging. My siblings called me and told me that it was time, that I needed to come visit. I was in Seattle at the time, and I drove from Seattle to Atlanta. Only once I got there, I managed to get really sick. I caught this stomach virus, and I found myself in bed. It was my childhood bed. And on the walls, there were paintings from things I had done in college because, well, that's what mothers do. And I was lying in bed and I looked down the hallway and I saw my mother with her walker struggling down the hall, carrying a tray of chicken noodle soup and saltines. Oxygen tubes trailing behind her. She put her thermometer in my mouth. It was the same thermometer she had put in my mouth as a child. I had a 102-degree temperature. She wiped my forehead with a washcloth, and I thought how the tables had turned because I had come home to help take care of her, but somehow she found strength in my illness. It's the only time in my life that I could ever remember being glad that I was sick. And the only thing that I could do was to lie in bed and savor the taste of chicken noodle soup and saltines, because I knew that it was going to be the last time my mother would ever mother me. If you can support me or this theater, please do so. Thank you for listening, and happy Mother's Day.